ogre.
Oh, you were expecting Prince Charming.
Look, if you wanted to be alone, all you had to do was ask, okay?
Oh, come on. That's the last thing on my mind.
2 hours later.
Welcome to Sonic Bytes, the freewheeling conversation and interview series for the eclectic music lover. This week, we're exploring the whimsical world of musical collaboration. From Run DMC and Aerosmith's Walk This Way to Mick Jagger and David Bowie's Dancing in the Street, we discuss the good, the bad, the ugly, the slightly silly, and the downright ridiculous musical collusions that have taken place in pop music, as well as come up with our own fantasy collaborations from the past and the present. We also introduce our second musical game, Who Dat Grammy Nominated Artist That We Need to Guess, complete with his own theme music. We hope you enjoy it. Yeah. Anyway, I was saying, like, have you seen that photo that went on all the news outlets yesterday of this man in Italy who was like he was doing one of those like naked sunbathing, I think that's like a big thing in that region that he was in, and this wild boar picked up his bags. Apparently there's a pizza in it or something, but it had his laptop in it. And he started running around the park.
Stark naked
and like around loads of people, just like trying to catch this boar to get his bag back.
That's hilarious.
But like people were very impressed by sort of like the sheer determination of him. And someone filmed it and took photos of it and then showed it to him. He was happy for it to be disseminated to the public.
That's unbelievable. There's so much wrong with that.
Yeah.
In that, like, well, no, not as in, why would you put a pizza and a laptop in a bag together for one? Like, that's a recipe for disaster. Yeah. Like, and getting salami all over a pizza all over a laptop is not going to be a.
Yeah, it's.
I'm sure there's some sort of like salami related like pun somewhere in it, like chasing a wild.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Stolen your laptop, stark naked in Italy.
But yeah, he was. Yeah, it's simultaneously what we don't need, and simultaneously it's everything that we did need at this time.
I think this is completely.
I'll send you the
necessary.
photo later.
I was.
It's a weird thing to describe.
To go like, oh, I'll look up the photos,
yeah.
But then at the same time, watching a naked man run after a wild boar might also be one of those sort of things that, when it comes up in your search history, you get strange adverts for sort of a month.
Oh yeah.
Because they think that's what.
Yeah,
you
all those targeted advertisements, you know.
Yeah.
Those digital marketers are coming for you.
Yeah. Just like weird, like, oh my god, yeah, just be like strange underwear and like pork dishes, or something like that. Wild boar, naked man, and strange things that will bring up in your targeted advertising. Anyway, how has your musical week, or how's your week been, sort of music wise?
How's my week been? It's been all right. Been experimenting with some new gear. Not going to disclose that, but it's been fun. Loads of new music that came out this week as well. I've just been binging. Literally came out yesterday. There's a new Another Sky record. There's a new Glass Animals record, and they're so good. And it's just been digging into new music really, and also catching up with a lot of new releases from this week. Yeah, there's so much to do at all times. I think it's hard to.
Yeah, it's a constant. You have to constantly keep up with it, don't you?
Yeah, but that's the joy of it, I think. How about you?
I've not been very good this week in terms of new music releases. I've been busy working all week, so I haven't had much chance to sort of headspace to listen to new music. But I've been listening to some sort of old classics that I really enjoy listening to. Lots of Theo Katzman and Paul Simon, and the 1975 as well. 3 bands that you guys should definitely check out if you haven't already, if you don't know who they are.
Yeah, and luckily,
also,
if you're sort of in a bind and finding new music and not really sure where to go, we have a podcast episode regarding that. So,
episode 3, definitely check it out. How we find new music. Also, as this is coming out on Tuesday, we actually have a gig this evening, don't we? I believe.
Oh, I guess, yeah. For us in the future. Yeah, some Umbrella Academy stuff, but you know. Oh, I've been watching that this week. That's been really good. season 2 of
Yes,
that.
that has been
some
awesome.
great music in it as well. They've always picked some interesting choices, and it just somehow fits the crazy vibe of the show as well.
Yeah. They I can't remember which show it was. I think it might have been Lie to Me, where they basically the music was really interestingly picked out, and they picked the music for what the character was thinking as opposed to what was going on in the scene. And so like the music was always really contrasting, but as a result it was also really like to listen
Like
to it was
literally
really
what they were
interesting once
thinking
it's explained.
of.
Yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah, because
which
sometimes
I think was
that
a really
can
cool-
come off a bit cheesy. Like, you know, if there's a guy like just in a scene and he's listening to the music and he's like walking down the street and then he takes them off and then it sort of and then it sort of fades out.
No, it wasn't not in terms of like actually physically listening to music, but as in like whatever was going through the character's head that was portrayed in terms of music.
Very
So
interesting.
instead of what was going on with the scene, what the character was thinking in reaction to that, and so it sort of showed like a little disconnect between the two, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I think it was Lie to Me. It might be something completely different. Please feel free to correct me in the comment section if I've completely screwed that up.
I think one thing we should do
yeah.
is also maybe create a playlist for people, because I know some people have reached out and said like, oh, like it's hard. Obviously, we can't have the music in our podcast, so it might be nice to have like a sort of a companion playlist for people to.
Maybe for each episode, Sonic Bytes episode 1 companion.
Yeah.
Kind of like a. Did you
that's
ever
a lot
have
of
those
playlists.
for? They used to have those for. It wasn't just for some of the books I studied while I was at school. They had like the reading companions.
Oh right.
And also like listening companions for sort of classical pieces as well. You can sort of like read along and see like what's happening where and things and read the score. So we can do the same thing with a Spotify playlist. Like
Yeah, could do.
a listening companion. Like pause like every time we mention a new artist. Like pause the show, listen to the artist, come back, and then carry on.
Get all of those 2 followers. You know,
Hey,
every follower counts.
if we can introduce even one person to some new music that they enjoy, then I feel like we're doing a good job. And so
Sweet.
I'm happy. Like a million would be great, but I'm happy with 1 for the moment.
Happy with 5.
However many zeros we add on after that is totally fine. It's not a problem.
Cool. Anyway,
so-
let's get on. We should probably move on to the actual podcast. You know.
Yes, indeed. We have a game. for you guys
Another
this week.
game?
Another game.
What?
For which we have a title sequence.
Oh, yes, we do.
Sorry, not a title sequence. Title music.
Yeah.
Which we haven't.
At the time of
recorded
recording,
yet.
we don't know what it is. But what we're going to do is count down to it, and then we're going to stay silent for a bit, and then this magical game theme song is going to come up. And
We're
bring
both
us
going to vibe to what we think the theme song is going to sound like.
Yeah, we
and
haven't
then
been
we'll
able
see.
to afford any switchboards or anything that can feed it into our Zoom call yet. So this will have to do for now.
We're working with the technical limitations that we have. But okay, you ready? Then?
All right, let's go. All right, you count on.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1.
Do dance.
It's
Go.
time for that part of the show. Who that Grammy Nominated Artist that we need to guess?
Cool. Okay, I think that's it.
All right. I really hope it sounds like what it did in my head
Yeah.
because it was awesome.
Yeah, let's we gotta sync our brains later.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
what do we call
the
this game
we're gonna
again?
Play is essentially
20
20
questions. That's it.
but over Zoom. It's going to be a little bit more complicated because obviously if I hold a card up to my head or something up to my head, I'm going to be able to see exactly what it is because I can see myself in the Zoom call, and you're going to have the same problem. And so I thought if we blindfold ourselves and then I send you an image, you can hold it up to the screen so that people can see who it is. You ask me 20 questions and try and narrow it down, and we'll see where we end up.
Yeah. What did we call this
after
game
the 20
again?
questions.
We came up with a name. Art thou
think
the
we had
artist?
Who Dat.
Oh, who dat? Who
What
dat?
was your one, sorry?
Who dat Grammy nominated musician?
Who that Grammy nominated artist?
It's it's probably going to be different from
That
when
was
we
what
make.
the head shakes were for when I was doing the dance. Like, who dat Grammy
Who dat?
nominated artist?
All right, cool. Who's going to go
All
first?
right, okay. So I have my coin. I have a British pound coin, heads and tails, just to make sure I'm not cheating. So I'll flip it. Would you like to call first?
Heads.
It is. I don't know if you can see that. Tails.
Okay.
So I'm going to make you go first.
Okay, cool. I'm going to quickly blindfold myself.
So
Do I look aesthetic? Do I look fabulous?
I mean, you've got a Man United scarf on, so
So,
as fabulous as you can.
all right, let's go.
Okay, right. So I'm going to send it over.
The artist is Slash.
Okay,
We're gonna
it's come
have
up.
some
Hopefully
loading
you guys-
music, and we're gonna have some like game music in the background.
Yeah. Okay, so feel free to start asking some questions.
Cool. Round 1 begins.
Okay, here we go. Question 1.
All right. Male or female?
Male. Tap the screen.
Oh wait, am I asking yes or no questions?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So that was.
Well, no, you can ask.
Okay.
Yeah, yes or no questions.
Yes or no questions.
Let's do that.
Okay, so am I a male?
Yes.
Did I release music in the 2000s?
No.
Did I release music in the 80s?
Yes.
Do I have a short first name?
Yes.
Am I American?
Yes.
Am I one of your favorite artists?
No.
Oh. Am I one of my?
That's a tough. That's not a fair question.
Am I one of my favorite artists?
No. I want to say.
Oh damn. Am I a country artist?
No.
Am I a rock?
You've got 8 questions.
Am I a rock musician?
Yes.
Am I? Oh, I don't know. Am I a hard rock musician?
For the time, I want to say yes.
For the time. I have no clue.
I really don't want to mislead you with that one.
Yeah.
You've had 10 questions. You got 10 more.
So I asked 80s, right?
Yep.
Did I release music in the 70s?
No.
In the 90s?
Yes.
I
I think. I had to Google these questions.
Oh god. Oh, who is this? Am I white?
Yes.
There was some hesitation there.
Yes.
I'm just gonna keep asking until I run out of questions. Do I play guitar?
Yes. You have 6 questions left.
Am I a grunge artist?
No.
Damn it. I have no idea now.
It's not as hard as you think it is. I hope.
Have I... Oh. Do I play piano as well?
No.
I have no clue. Do I sing?
No.
Ah.
Oh. 3 questions left. Can you do it?
I have no clue.
I love this.
It's a guitar. So he's a guitarist who
Yes.
released music in the 90s, but not the 2000s.
No. Famous in the late 80s, early 90s, but not really in the 2000s.
Am I Steve Vai?
No.
Am I close?
Oh. Yes.
Am I Joe Satriani?
No.
Oh.
Got one
One
question left.
I'm just gonna guess guitarists. Am I? Who is a guitarist? Am I Stevie Ray Vaughan?
No.
When he sings.
Oh, so close.
Oh, who did I get?
Take your blindfold off and look at the photo. The screen switched off a while ago, but
Oh, Slash.
Slash. Yes.
Of course. I was thinking Slash, but then I was like, maybe it's. Oh. This is like the worst weather to wear a scarf over your head, so you got to get those
Yeah, I
questions
know.
in quick.
It's like 30 odd degrees here.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
Okay, right. Okay, I'm gonna blindfold myself. So wait, can you see that?
A bit higher. Cool. Let's go.
Okay, go for it.
The artist is Eminem.
All right, let's go.
Has it been sent?
Yep.
Okay, am I male?
Yes.
Did I bring out music in the 90s?
I think so. I'm gonna say yes,
That's encouraging.
but I think no. Actually, wait one second.
Okay. Did I bring out music in the 80s?
No, and definitely yes for the 90s.
So 90s musician.
Mhm.
Okay. Did I bring out music in the 2000s?
Yes. Was that 4 questions?
Yeah. Hold up your fingers and then they'll be able to see.
We can make a counter later.
Did I bring out music in the 2010s?
Yes.
Okay, so 90s, noughties, 2010s. Okay. Am I a pop artist? Not an easy question,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes. You're
Yes?
popular.
I'm popular. That's okay. Nice to know.
Also,
Okay.
I think this holding the camera thing is we're gonna have to put an image on later.
Yeah.
Anyway.
My arm's kind of falling asleep as
Yeah.
well. Okay, so I'm popular 90s, noughties, 2010s. Okay, am I in a rock band?
Nope.
Am I a singer?
No.
Am I a guitarist?
No.
Not a singer, not a guitarist. Am I a piano player?
No.
Am I a bassist?
Nope.
Am I a drummer?
No. Just going back to the singer, you use your voice.
I use my voice, but I'm not a singer.
You're 12 questions in.
Huh?
You're 12 questions in.
12 questions in.
Also, you have sung previously, but like as
I have sung previously, but I don't anymore.
it's not what you're known for.
Not what I'm known for. Not a guitarist, not a singer, not a drummer, not a bassist. Okay. Do I play an instrument?
No. Not that you're known for, at least.
I'm not known for playing an instrument. Am I a producer?
Yes. Well, that's part of what you do, but it's not all of what you do.
I'm so bad with producers.
Well, you're not known as a producer. When you think of this person, you don't think of him as a producer.
Okay.
But like everyone produces.
Not known for singing.
You should probably put your hand down, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
I think you're
I'm not
question
known for
14.
singing, I'm not known for producing. Okay. Oh god. Okay.
What else do you do with your voice when you don't sing?
You talk, right?
As in you don't sing notes.
So I'm a rapper.
Yes.
Ah. Okay. How many questions have I got left?
5.
5. Okay. Oh, should I just name rappers? Am I Eminem?
Yes.
Hey, fantastic! Oh man,
Yeah, because
that's so hard.
Yeah.
When you to pin it down.
Yeah.
That's like a proper.
all right, let's keep going. Round 3.
Okay, right. Okay, round 3. So put your Man United blindfold back on. Oh, nice photo as well. Eminem. Sorry, there we go.
Also, sorry if you're still listening to this podcast, but here you go. I can't actually see
Yeah.
anything.
This is heavy on the visuals, guys.
Yeah.
So make sure you check out the YouTube channel as well.
Cool.
Leo Kelly
Anyway,
G
let's
Music. Right. Okay, you got it up.
Yep. Can you see
Okay,
it?
here we go. Yeah. Oh, one sec. There we go. Okay, hold it a little bit closer if you can, just so you can see.
The artist is
Hopefully there it
Cher.
is. All right. Okay, 20 questions. Go.
All right. Am I female?
Yes.
I was active in the 2000s. Sorry.
No.
Was I active in the 80s?
Yes.
Am I American?
Yes.
American. Do I sing?
Yes.
Am I only known for singing?
Yes.
Am I white?
Yep.
Did I release music in the 90s? Probably.
Yes.
I
God, I hope that's right. Yes, I think so.
Am I considered a pop artist?
Yeah.
Do I play instruments?
No, I don't think so.
80s. Was I active in the 70s?
I think so.
70s. Oh, I have no idea at this point.
I should have researched this beforehand.
Am I... American musicians is just so hard.
There are quite a few of them.
Am I a folk artist?
No.
Am I a rock musician?
No.
Am I a country musician?
No.
Am I a jazz musician?
No.
I'm just pop.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm on 15, right, or something like that.
You are on bang on 15, yes. Are you sure you can't see? That's
I've been counting. I've literally... Was I in a band?
I don't think so, no.
Damn it. Just a female pop singer.
Yeah.
That's American.
You'll kick yourself when you get it.
Or I'm probably not going to get it.
You've got 4 questions left.
Am I alive?
Yes.
Oof.
Very much so. I'm really sorry if I've
Have I released more than 10 albums?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I'm just asking random questions now.
I'll give you another question then, because that's not really fair, because I can't say yes or no. 3 left.
I have no clue. It's probably just not my street. Do I like this artist?
Yeah. You like everyone though, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Not the most useful question.
Am I still relevant today?
No. Not really.
All right, I'm gonna have to give up here. I don't know what else to ask.
You got 1 question left. Shot in the dark. Go for it.
Am I Joni Mitchell? No, 'cause she plays guitar. That's stupid. Okay.
She's
Anyway.
play guitar. All right, blindfold off. Have a look.
Who is it? Oh, Cher.
Cher.
Yeah.
That was kind of difficult. Sorry.
Yeah, she literally just all she does is sing. That's like.
I think so.
And
Yeah.
I just don't know enough about her. I think.
I don't know when she came onto the scene either. I know she's been around for a really, really long time, and she's been in. In fairness, she's been in films as well, but like I don't think she's known for them.
Yeah.
Like she's been in Mamma Mia, and she's been in Moonlight, which is one of the most hilarious films you'll ever watch. If you get a chance, definitely check out Moonlight. It's an absolute romp. It's Nicolas Cage and Cher, and it's just like
if that type of film's what you're into.
It's it's one of those films. It's either like the funniest dumb movie ever or the dumbest funny movie. Either way, it's just hilarious. Definitely worth watching.
All right.
Right. Okay. Here we go.
Final round.
Blindfold on. Can you see that?
Yeah. Cool. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Is it set?
Go slightly more to your right.
The artist
Sorry,
is
left.
Leona Lewis.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Maybe it's just in front of your face now. Anyway.
Okay.
Cool.
Have they seen
I think people know now.
Right. Okay. Am I
play along
female?
at home, because if you're listening to the podcast, you probably don't know,
Okay.
have no
Am I
idea what's
female?
happening. Huh? Yeah.
Am I female?
Yes.
I'm female. Did I bring out music in the noughties?
Yes.
Did I bring out music in the tens?
Not known for it.
Did I bring out music in the 90s?
No.
Just the noughties. Oh, okay. Do I play an instrument?
Not probably. Not known for it.
Am I a singer?
Yes.
Singer. In the noughties. are so many.
I feel like we
okay.
picked a very similar category.
Am I white?
No.
Am I black?
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
Sorry, okay. Okay. Black singer from the noughties. Am I American?
Nope.
Am I British?
Yes.
This one is one I'm going to kick myself. How many questions have I got left?
10.
10.
Yep.
Was I on a talent show?
Yes.
Was it the X Factor?
Yes.
Am I Alexandra Burke?
Nope.
Damn. Oh, am I Leona Lewis?
Yep. You got it. You got it.
Oh man. That
Yeah.
is. Oh,
Anyway, cue applause.
Yep. Cue applause.
Of like,
Oh man, that's
we
a
should
tough
have like
game.
just applause of like 2 people, like literally just us.
Yeah. Just literally, or just one person just slowly clapping. Cool.
I feel like
enjoyed that.
we did pick some very unlikely artists, and
Yes.
and
Let us know if you'd like us to do that game in future weeks as well, because that was actually quite good fun.
yeah, I think maybe for the podcast we're gonna have to put like a. He picked this person. Otherwise, it's gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Just to make absolutely sure.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see those artists like collaborate, or not.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I feel like we picked some kind of pretty basic artists in the end.
Yeah.
But
Well, I wanted to pick someone who was like visually sort of instantly recognizable as well. So that you'd know, so people would know, watching the YouTube channel at least would know what we were doing.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry for the people watching the podcast where it's just just imagine me holding a phone up to a screen.
I mean, we did want to talk about unexpected collaborations this week, which is sort of the main topic. I mean, I feel like Eminem has sort of done some pretty interesting collaborations over the years with I mean, people. I feel like with rap music a lot of the time, or hip hop music, there's a bit more experimentation in terms of like people coming on as features and things like that. Like even just as basic as like Rihanna coming on the Eminem albums and all that.
Yeah, he's kind of got a history of doing it, hasn't he? Because he started even with was it the Marshall Mathers LP that came out in 2000? His first one.
I think it was 1999 or something like that.
1999, 2000, but that had Dido on it and Stan, which sort of took obviously the Dido song and then sort of turned it in and added it to the song, which obviously added a nice quality to it.
Yeah,
I think in rap music it's nice because it gives you the whole. It's an interesting break between the two. If you have a rap verse and then sort of having a a sung chorus, it's sort of it's there's two hooks almost, because like I don't know about
musically
you, but
speaking.
Musically speaking, yeah. Part of rap music that I enjoy is sort of the learning of the lyrics and sort of being able to sing them at speed and stuff. And so if you've got that and then something to sing along to as well, it's really like it's quite nice.
Yeah, and I think part of the whole movement of hip hop in general is sort of it's like unexpected, and it's like people like even just sampling, and it's sort of like it's quite cutting edge. So there's a lot of
definitely.
It's not like people playing rock music and making collaborations and all that. Although there's a lot of room for crazy stuff there as well.
They were I keep going back to this book you lent me, but in How Music Works by David Byrne, they sort of talk about he talks about rap music in that way, saying that like the way it because it uses samples, or at least initially it used samples of tracks, like it does have a habit of drawing from lots of different genres of music, and as a result it sort of creates something that's a mishmash of different genres that are kind of like unexpected, which is kind of cool. Yeah,
and also I feel like a lot of it is using sort of like new technology as well, like having sampling and MPCs and all that stuff to make those old records, like NWA, Dr. Dre, that type of stuff. But then I guess that there's also a lot of weird collaborations in rap in terms of with rock as well. I feel like there's a bit of a interesting sort of collaboration. Well, not collaboration, just like crossovers. Obvious ones are like Jay-Z and Linkin Park, but the origins are probably like Run DMC and Aerosmith, which is like
Walk This
what
Way.
the hell?
Yes, such a banger.
And or even just like the Beastie Boys, they're kind of they were a rap group. I mean, they were. I think they were a bunch of white guys, but yeah, they made some cutting edge sort of rap rock, I guess.
Yeah, just rap rock.
Yeah. And Linkin, and then Linkin Park sort of like they are sort of half a rap group, you know, with the way Mike Shinoda works, and they're
so interesting.
And they brought along like throughout their discography, they brought on like other rappers as well to collaborate with them. I mean, he was in a hip hop group himself, like, and even nowadays,
they even had Did you remember? Do you remember Together We Made It?
Yeah. Oh, that was one with like
featuring
Busta Rhymes.
Rhymes.
Yeah, that was banger.
That was such a good song. Yeah.
Yeah, in the 2000s at least, and then
in the 2000s. Yeah.
But yeah, they brought along even like contemporary
people
like Pusha T and Rakim and all that stuff.
I like bands like that because they're kind of amorphous in a way. Because even sort of like thinking all the way back to kind of In the End and songs like that, they are a sort of a weird mash of the two, that you have kind of like a rapped verse, but then it does sort of launch straight into like a rock chorus. And it's got that kind of like heavy rock vibe to it as well. Yeah,
and sort of like unexpected at the time.
Yeah, definitely.
I think even in rap music, there's like even to this current day, there's like a lot of interesting collaborations, and it's almost like I wouldn't say it's maybe like unexpected in a way, but maybe it's maybe just a surprise element of it. So like if when Kendrick Lamar popped up on that Taylor Swift track Bad Blood. It was like,
yeah, exactly.
Maybe it didn't work, like it wasn't the best thing ever, but it's sort of like, really, is that happening? You know.
I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think there are some pairings that are completely unexpected, and you really don't see it coming. I'm just trying to think of something like kind of like Billy Ray Cyrus and Lil Nas X, like Old Town Road. I know there's a precedent of it having kind of like country rap, because it started like even with people like Nelly back in the early 2000s and Tim McGraw. That I can't remember if it's called Hole in My Head or Over and Over Again, but like the precedent's been there. But I think there are some as well where I think there are just two people who are giants at their time. I'm like thinking like David Bowie and Mick Jagger, for example, that it almost seems like a bit of a not necessarily a marketing ploy, but sort of like if you're moving in those circles, like at some point you've got to come together and just be like, should we just do it and see what happens, kind of thing. You know, like everyone loves what we do, the other people love what, like, yeah, everyone. The Rolling Stones were massive obviously at the time, David Bowie was the same, so it's almost kind of like a, you know, if we put them together it will be even bigger kind of thing. But obviously like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Like I always find so Dancing in the Street, for example, is it's just a really funny song. The cover that they do,
absolutely
like,
hilarious,
is
one of the craziest music videos
brilliant.
of all time.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, definitely check out Dancing in the Street with Mick Jagger and David Bowie. But I think with some of them it kind of ends up being a bit of a, considering the hype, it sometimes falls a little bit flat. Like what was the song that Justin Bieber and Ed Sheeran did?
I've no clue, mate.
What was it?
The song.
The one was my. Oh god, that's really annoying.
I have no idea, bro.
It came out really recently as well. Let's party. Everyone's got so much to say.
I guess as a, have you done it for like? Have you performed it before?
Yes, I think we have. As we've done it for. I think it's My Baby or something. But like, sure. but considering how big Ed Sheeran is and how big Justin Bieber is, like the fact that they came together and sort of it was kind of a like, to me personally, it sort of fell flat. Like it could have been something much bigger and it could have emphasized sort of the best parts of Ed Sheeran and the best parts of Justin Bieber. They sort of just both kind of. It seemed like a kind of like, people will buy it, so we might as well, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, and I think artists are sort of listening to each other all the time, so I think a lot of these collaborations do come out of that, you know? Like they're not just listening to their genre of music, you know? If like I'm sure like people like Stevie Wonder probably listens to like a lot of hip hop, or like Taylor Swift is like listening to loads of different types of music that you won't expect. And then these collaborations happen because musicians are crazy and always trying to find like new things to do. And sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't come off, you know. Although that's very subjective, but you know.
Yes, that's true. I was listening to, I think it was ages ago. It was a podcast or an interview with the Fleet Foxes.
Yeah.
If you know them, the guys who wrote Mick and Us,
Fleet
check out the
Foxes,
Fleet
not,
Foxes guys if you
not
get a
the
chance.
Fleet Fox.
Huh?
It's Fleet Foxes, not
The Fleet Foxes, yeah.
Fleet Foxes, not anyway.
Fleet Foxes, not the Fleet Foxes. But he was saying that like he doesn't actually enjoy listening to the music that he writes. Obviously, they're kind of pigeonholed as kind of like an indie folk band, but that's not like his actual. I think it was the guitar player, and he was saying that's not his first call in terms of the music he likes to listen to. And so I think when artists do bring out these sort of like, so Taylor Swift and the National, for example, no one really knew that Taylor Swift was a National fan. It's not necessarily in keeping with the stuff she's brought out before, but then that's when it becomes all the more interesting when you have a collaboration in that way, because then it's kind of like, oh, I didn't know you were a fan of that kind of music, and actually, you know, it works out really well, especially with the Taylor Swift album, which, as I said last week, I think the last 8 tracks are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, they're definitely. I feel like I'm definitely going to be talking about it for a very long time. But it was interesting to see sort of both fan bases unfold in terms of like, obviously there was a surprise element of it, but also if you followed really really closely, you might know that Taylor Swift was a fan of the National and vice versa, but they wouldn't even really speak about it publicly. So when a collaboration like that comes out, then sort of the two fan bases sort of have to grapple with the fact that that this collaboration is happening. Oh my goodness, what is it going to sound like?
Exactly.
Knows, you know. There's
it's a good way of building hype, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, I think even Bon Iver on that album is quite interesting. He's and now the fact that he's collaborated with both Taylor Swift and Kanye West in the past.
Yes.
Obviously on Exile on Folklore, Taylor Swift's new album, and then also he was on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Lost in the World. And that's because Kanye West listens to like loads of, like, he was influenced by a lot of like rock music as well. Like he loves like 2000s, 90s rock music. Also,
as do I.
Yeah. And then he listens, but then he sort of heard Bon Iver, maybe his first 1 or 2 records, maybe his first record, and just wanted that sound on his record, and then that collaboration happened. And I think sometimes even like the musician that gets invited is almost just like, what is happening, you know?
Especially if it's someone like Kanye West as well. You should be like, oh my god, like what?
Yeah, and like a completely different like workflow and musical philosophy, and you're just like, okay, let's get together and make some music. You know?
I heard a really weird one. I don't know if you know who Andy McKee is.
I mean, you're asking. I know who Andy McKee is.
You do know Andy McKee is, right? Yeah.
There's a guitar. There's a fingerstyle guitarist called Andy McKee.
If you guys don't know who Andy McKee is, definitely check him out.
I think he became viral because of that drifting video, right? It was one of those early YouTube sort of viral videos, along with like Canon Rock and the evolution of dancing. That was like maybe not as big as those, but I feel like it did blow up in that era because people suddenly were watching videos of like people tapping and stuff and be like, oh,
Candy
Ret
Records.
That.
That was responsible for me losing like 6 months of my childhood just in my bedroom learning that song. But no, what was interesting was I watched him. I think he was doing a guitar masterclass or something, and he told the story of when he was asked to do a collaboration with Prince. Out of absolutely nowhere, basically the phone just rang, and obviously Prince was part of the viral side of the video, and he saw the video and was a really big fan, and he was like, dude, I want you to come on tour with me and play on some of the songs. And he wanted him to have this like 50-foot long cape and like standing up on a stage and have him like doing all the fret tapping stuff, and he was like, I'm not sure about this. But it just goes to show, doesn't it, that like you never know who's listening to your music, and it can come out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah. And just like imagining those people in the studio together as well, it's just like it's sort of like a coming together, like the stars align for a sec, and then and they make music, and maybe it's good, maybe it's not good, but it at the end of the day, these unexpected collaborations are like overwhelmingly interesting, you know, at least to me. Maybe not to most people, but, you know.
No, I think they're absolutely fantastic, because it gives you a chance to experience what the mixing of two genres, which are you know, sort of hitherto uncombined and don't really have anything to do with each other, not even just musically, but sort of culturally or historically. There's often a massive disparity between the two. I don't really know where for example, fingerstyle guitar comes from, but I don't think it's anywhere near where Prince was coming from.
Yeah.
And so like to put the two together is a really interesting sort of thing to hear, and when it does work, it just sort of, it's completely mind blowing, because obviously it's not something that's ever really been heard before, because people haven't thought to combine the two, you know. Kind of like a new like a new flavor if you're like mixing spices in when you're cooking or something. You just, you know, dash a bit of that and dash a bit of that, and just all of a sudden, oh, that's actually quite nice.
Yeah, and as a listener, we're just along for the ride, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think Prince collaborated with Stevie Wonder in the past. I don't know if you've heard that track.
Say again.
Prince collaborated with Stevie Wonder. Yeah, there's a track where Prince just comes on at the end and just plays a solo. I think it's on one of his more recent records. It's like not one of his like older records or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What do you know what it's called?
I think it's called like something to do with like a kiss. I'm gonna put it on a playlist, and we're gonna
add it to the playlist, guys. Definitely check it out. I think it's really interesting when you're known for sort of, when you're not necessarily just known as a singer, if you're known as an instrumentalist as well, because it gives you the ability to collaborate a lot further, especially someone like Stevie Wonder, who plays so many instruments to such a high level.
I mean, he in the 2010s and 2000s, he's pretty much become like a harmonica session musician. You know?
Yeah. Who's the guy who
he showed up on like a Snoop Dogg record? He showed up on a Snoop Dogg record. Have you heard that song?
Yes,
it's hilarious.
No, but there's the Daniel. Oh, what's the guy's name? He did some of the music for Luke Cage season 2, I think.
Right.
I think you showed it to me ages ago. But he just shows up with like this blistering harmonica solo halfway through, and he's introducing the track as like introducing Mr. Stevie Wonder, and it's just, you just sort of like do a double take. You're just sort of like, oh right, okay, he's playing, cool.
Yeah, he showed up on the Raphael Sadiq record as well in the late.
That's the one, Raphael Sadiq. Yeah, sorry, not Daniel. I don't know where Daniel came from.
But he also showed up on a Snoop Dogg record in the first track, and it's like an absolute meme. It's hilarious.
It's amazing. I think another one is, again, to sort of go back to the person we love the most, John Mayer has had a similar kind of thing where, like, I think as he's, at least in terms of pop music, become less of a singer, he features a lot as a guitarist on other people's albums as well. So Leon Bridges was one that he featured on literally this year, Inside Friend, sorry. He's even featured with, I think there was a song that Barbra Streisand brought out like 10 years ago, and he features as a guitar player on that. I mean,
they're sort of, I feel like that could happen, but as well, you wouldn't expect it to happen.
I wouldn't necessarily, I think John Mayer and Barbra Streisand, they're not necessarily two people that like I would immediately think of as being together, but then but there's a whole video about it where like he talks about being a massive Barbra Streisand fan. He was saying that like his dad was a big Barbra Streisand fan, so like when he was like, I'm collaborating with Barbra Streisand, sort of like his parents were like, right, okay, now you've made it, kind of thing, you know. You're in that company.
I think it depends on the attitude of the musician. Sometimes like John Mayer is quite like, he does listen to a lot of different music, and he appreciates sort of keeping up with the trends and all that. So there's more likely, like, there's just a bigger chance that they're going to want to be more interested in these unexpected things, like collaborating with Khalid or Alicia Keys, or showing up
Keith
on
Urban.
There's some
Ed
other
Sheeran
crazy, some other crazier ones. I think Frank Ocean
Kanye
was on
West.
his record. Frank Ocean was on his record. He worked with Kanye.
Yeah, Bittersweet. They brought out a song together. There's a whole like hilarious YouTube video about it as well.
Can't believe I haven't heard that.
Dude's been everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, John Mayer and Taylor Swift have made a song together, you know, and probably made songs about each other.
Oh, that was fun. The whole Dear John Paper Doll like competition thing. So yeah, sorry, where were we? We were talking about sort of musicians who are instrumentalists as well as singers, and it sort of gives them another life as a collaborator, because it means that you don't necessarily, if you've got a really iconic voice, it doesn't lend itself to all genres, whereas if you play a certain instrument, it allows you to be more versatile, basically, doesn't it? And in many senses. Yeah,
I think you've got cases of sort of guitarists featuring on other people's tracks, and that being sort of out of the box a bit. I mean, the ones that come to mind straight away are like Stevie Ray Vaughan on
Let's Dance.
David Bowie's Let's Dance.
Yeah.
There must have been some weirder ones. I'm sure Steve Vai's been on some weird tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's a capacity for unexpected session musician collaborations, I guess. I think maybe the more intriguing ones are sort of the vocal ones. So I'm thinking, going back to the Stevie Wonder thing, he collaborated with Paul McCartney on the song called Ebony and Ivory, which I need to send you after this podcast filming.
Yeah, please do.
It's absolutely hilarious. And even Paul McCartney's been on some collaborations with Michael Jackson that you wouldn't expect straight away.
Wait,
but
what?
Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. We were talking about it, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, with
Sorry.
obviously they have basically it's quite interesting because they almost like wrote songs for each other. So there's a song called Say 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 by Michael Jackson that was released by Michael Jackson, but I think it was written by Paul McCartney, and you can hear it actually being like it just sounds like a Paul McCartney song. There's another song I think it's called The Girl Is Mine. It's also I think McCartney wrote that, but Michael Jackson recorded it. And funnily enough, I think Paul McCartney also released a song that Michael Jackson... Oh no, there's a song called Girlfriend that Michael Jackson recorded on Off the Wall, his album, which actually Paul McCartney wrote first, and then Michael Jackson recorded it. But there's also another version of Paul McCartney doing Girlfriend as I think either a Paul McCartney track or a Wings track or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a sort of an unexpected, like almost like two-way collaboration. You know, it's not like just like a one thing that ever happened.
Yeah. It sort of works like it kind of like flows in both directions. That like each person writes a song for the other.
Yeah, and maybe it's not the thing that they're most well known for of all time, but
It's kind of cool that it happened.
Super interesting. Yeah, I think one of my favorite unexpected collaborations definitely has to be Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins showing up on one of Thundercat's songs. I think Thundercat was sort of just going with the whole cheesy yacht rock vibe.
Yeah.
And got him on the song called Show Me the Way. And it's just like they have their own sort of verses basically, and then they sing in harmonies in the chorus. But he's just kind of like, ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Loggins, and like, ladies and gentlemen, Michael McDonald, and it's like,
oh man,
Love
Michael
it when,
McDonald has been everywhere, man.
Yeah, there's another. I mean, I've been looking through his Discogs. He did this track with the indie band Grizzly Bear. It's actually Grizzly Bear. It's called While We Wait for the Others. I bought the 7-inch single recently because it's so good. But there's they basically recorded this song, and then they imagined, they were like, oh, what if Michael McDonald sang it or something? And there's a story about how someone they knew Michael McDonald, and they sent him the track, and then he sang it. He sent it back with his vocals on, and then they decided to release it because it sounded so good.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's called While We Wait for the Others by Grizzly Bear, and then find the Michael McDonald version, which I don't think is on Spotify. You have to find it on YouTube. But
it's got to take some stones to even imagine that kind of thing. Just like to write a song and be like, it would be really cool if Michael McDonald sung this, and then like like just even conceptually to like join that dot from having written the song. You know? It'd be like if I wrote a song and I'd be like, oh man, it would be really fantastic if Adam Levine would sing this, and then somehow it happened.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that'd be really interesting.
Yeah, I feel like it brings us like, as a listener, I don't know, I think people somewhat fantasize about what sort of collaborations happen. So maybe we can move on to our next segment, segue, and maybe we can sort of using fantasy lingo to draft some interesting. Some collaborations that we'd like to see, because I've been thinking about this before this episode, and
this is Pop Music 2K20, where you can combine any artist that you like on a particular band, and you can create a pop musician or a musician fantasy league, and put them together.
So I think we thought about maybe 2 different types of categories for this type of fantasy league of unexpected. Oh, this doesn't sound that good, does it? But
we can fix it in post. It's fine. Take off the high pass and
fix it. Fix in post by just laughing it off. So I feel like we came up with 2 interesting categories. Feel free to mix them up at home or join in at home, or on your commute or whatever. There's no such thing as a commute now, but
So what are the two categories that we've
so
got?
the collaborations that we want to happen and collaborations that can't happen, but we would love to, go back in time and
That would have been cool to have happened.
yeah.
All right, do you want to go first with your collaborations of who you'd want to happen? So people, so like these collaborations could still potentially happen in the future. Well,
segueing off Michael McDonald, I'd love to see him do a track with one of my favorite bands, Snarky Puppy. I know they know each other because Michael McDonald has shown up to a Snarky Puppy festival and performed a bit. Snarky Puppy have their own festival now, and they host it in Miami, and he has performed it. Yeah, he's performed and done talks there. So I hope they also do a lot of collaborations. So I hope he jumps on one of those collaborations and does something interesting, an interesting arrangement of an old song or something like that.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I mean Michael McDonald on anything really. So I just thought maybe Snarky Puppy. I'd love to see.
He even makes films better. Have you watched 40-Year-Old Virgin?
No, I haven't. That's something.
Oh, Steve Carell and Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd, and like they work in a TV shop, and the video that's always playing all the time is Michael McDonald, like on repeat. So like he's even
amazing.
He's everywhere, man. He's
yeah. We can talk about Michael McDonald for hours probably.
We could have a whole podcast episode on Michael McDonald.
Just the Michael McDonald podcast. Yeah.
The Michael McDonald podcast.
Yeah, I think one I'd like to see as well is, obviously John Mayer is always on our mind, but I'd love to see John Mayer do something with someone like Stevie Wonder or someone of that caliber. I don't know what would happen, and I don't know if Stevie Wonder is even in a creative mood. I assume he probably always is, but it's just his body and his age that might sort of let him down a bit. But
I mean, sorry, just as a little aside, he did collaborate with Herbie Hancock, didn't he, on that album Possibilities?
Oh yeah, Stitched Up.
That
there's a whole video about the making of it.
Yeah. Because like that has it's got Herbie Hancock's on all the tracks, but it has John Mayer and Herbie Hancock. It has Paul Simon, Christina Aguilera. It has Sting, Annie Lennox. Like just
I think Norah Jones was on it. So was it?
Yeah, Norah Jones. There are so many good artists on that album. Like just check it out. It's so good.
Herbie's one. Yeah.
A whole album of musical collaborations, which are just awesome. Definitely check it out if you get a chance.
Yeah, and my last one is a bit of a rogue one, but I'd say someone like Erykah Badu, who's just sort of a bit of enigma, but also the queen of neo soul.
Also awesome.
The queen, and maybe it's her collaborating with someone like Bon Iver or something. I don't know what type of weird stuff they'd come up with, but I'd like to know. I just want to know if they would work together well, or if Bon Iver would find her too weird.
Yeah, I like that because it's kind of like both are quite enigmatic artists, and so like there's not kind of a I don't necessarily know what to expect from either one, and so like it could go in so many different directions if they came together. Like there's so many possibilities. That'd be awesome. Okay, so
you?
The ones that I thought would be really cool, I'd love to see a collaboration between The National and Coldplay. I feel like
that could be interesting.
Like The National vibe to me is it's a direction that Coldplay could have gone into, I suppose, as opposed to the one they went in sort of when they followed the trend of pop music as it's sort of moved for the last 10 years. So it'd be really interesting to sort of see how those two came together, because I think a lot of both of their sort of the vibe they have is the sort of the atmospheric style of it.
Especially Coldplay's earlier stuff. I feel like you can draw some lines with a lot of the National's music, and might be interesting. I'm not sure how they'd fit everyone in, but there must be a way.
Yeah, definitely. Like
and creative, the process wise, like
like the coming together of two planetary atmospheres, like Earth meets Venus or Mars meets Jupiter or something. That'd be really, really cool to see what happens. The second one I had, just for shits and giggles, really, I'd love to see Brendan Urie and Bruno Mars.
That's the first swear of the podcast.
Huh?
That's the first curse word of the podcast.
First curse word of this podcast. But yeah, I'd love to see Brendan Urie and Bruno Mars just have a screaming contest on a pop song. I think it would be absolutely amazing.
That would be a vocal sight to behold.
Just it doesn't even have
a vocal, whatever the equivalent of sight is for hearing.
It doesn't even have to be good. It just I just want to see both of them just go
just trying to
higher,
just maybe they should just cover like Crazy in Love. You know.
Yeah, or Love on Top by Beyonce.
Love on Top.
just
Sorry,
as
no,
it
not
keeps-
Crazy in Love.
keeps going
Love
up
on
and
Top.
up
The
and
one.
up.
Yeah. I keep
That'd be
confusing
really
those
cool.
two songs.
And my third one that I'd really like to see would be Billie Eilish and Lady Gaga. I feel like I don't know. I feel like they both have a vibe, and like both of them are sort of edgy in different ways. So it'd be really cool to see sort of like how their edges would come together, I suppose, and what it would make.
Yeah, and I
'cause
think
again, I think. Go on, sorry.
no, I was gonna say that I feel like they would be fans of each other just as pop artists as well.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
100%. I can't see them not or feuding or just disliking each other's music.
Yeah,
So-
I feel like there'd be a lot of like personal and mutual sort of respect between the two, which would be really, really cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
that would
so
be
what
crazy.
are your three collaborations that you would love to have seen if it would have been possible
Love to have
in the
seen.
past?
I'd love to have seen maybe like Talking Heads continue, and maybe collaborate with literally anyone. But because they sort of fell out with each other, I
Yeah.
feel like they could have brought a lot. Like they could have done some way more interesting. Not way. Well, they were so interesting in themselves, but like just bring someone on like Stevie Wonder or something, do something interesting.
That would have been cool.
But then, yeah, at the same time, they were their own thing, and they fell out with each other, and now we've got their discography, and they're all doing their own things now.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'd love to see that.
That would have been amazing. Talking Heads and Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, I'd love to see D'Angelo collaborate with literally anyone. But
That
because
could still happen, right?
yeah, it can still happen. But I think that just the way, I think the way his creative process is, I feel, and the way he's so sporadically releases music.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just waiting for music from D'Angelo is sort of an impossible task in itself. So
It's kind of like Frank Ocean as well.
yeah, I mean Frank Ocean has
Way
done a
too.
lot more collaborations. I mean D'Angelo has done some collaborations, but I feel like they were a bit more expected. Like he's done songs with Raphael Sadiq, with even Snoop Dogg. He's done stuff with, and there's loads of random other collaborations that I can't think of right now. But compared to, who did you just mention?
What for D'Angelo?
Yeah.
You said Raphael Sadiq, right?
Yeah. Oh, anyway, I've lost my train of thought. My last one is something that I think would have been interesting. I'm not sure if it's actually happened, but I know Prince was a massive fan of Joni Mitchell, and he's and Prince has played Joni Mitchell songs before. I think he's played like A Case of You in the past.
Yes.
And I know he's a massive fan of that album, The Hissing of Summer Lawns, which is one of Joni's underrated albums, I think. And I'd love to see what would happen if they got maybe there's something in the vault, Prince's
You know
vault
what?
that
There
they've
very
done.
well could be.
But I feel like that would have come out by now as the
Yeah.
same time.
I
But yeah,
would
that's
love
something
to
I
have seen that, especially considering
Or heard
how much of a like in terms of like pure lyrical songwriting, she's one of my favorite people to listen to. And so to have that sort of like supercharged with a Prince band would just be unbelievable.
yeah, would be definitely interesting at least, and I definitely want to listen to that.
Love to see that. That'd be
but
amazing.
not sure that will ever happen.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll dig up some old Prince instrumentals and Joni will sing over it. But then I
Yeah.
don't think Joni's she's pretty much retired from music, I think. So
I think
due
for
to
a
health
Prince song,
issues.
she might come out again. Like we've got this.
But then she's probably thought about it in the past already, you know. So,
I think a lot of people have thought about collaborating with Prince.
and how
Yeah,
weird that
feeling.
would be, you know.
Interestingly enough, my first fantasy collaboration was also from Prince as well. I'd love to see or have seen Prince and Michael Jackson do something together. I feel like that would have been absolutely mind blowing. Not like I'd love to have heard it, but I would have loved to have seen it live as well. 'Cause
Right.
that would
It
have
would
just
be
been-
yeah. They'd probably
What
just
would
fight each other.
But can you imagine, like, sort of in terms of like just like the sheer performance aspect of two of sort of the greatest frontmen of all time, really? That would have been amazing.
It would.
And it would have been such a bop as well. Like whatever
Just
it would have
a bit
been, I know it would
bonkers,
have been
yeah.
fantastic. Just you know, like pure like what's the word? Like filtered pop music. It would for the time, sort of in the 1980s, I suppose it would have been amazing. My second one it's a bit self-indulgent, this one, but like it would have been really cool to have seen like Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan do something together. Obviously I know it would have been impossible because obviously Jimi Hendrix died before Stevie Ray Vaughan came in, and then but like to have those two.
This is the category, It's
a fantasy. It's a fantasy. But to see like someone who influenced Stevie Ray Vaughan so much, and then to be able to collaborate with it, that would have been amazing to see.
If Jimi Hendrix was still alive, there'd be some crazy stuff going on. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even if it was just like a cover of something like Little Wing or Along the Watchtower, but just like to have the two of them together would have been unbelievable. Kind of like if John Mayer and Derek Trucks, or like Joe Bonamassa and Derek Trucks did something together, like just to see like what that would sound like would be really,
anybody
really cool.
in Derek Trucks, really.
Anyone in Derek Trucks, would be fantastic. And then my third one, I would have loved to have seen like two sort of 80s synth pop supergroups come together. So like the Human League and Aha. Like Take On Me meets Don't You Want Me Baby, something like would be.
Oh wow!
I would love to have seen something like that as well, and just imagining how much of a bop that could have potentially been.
Just go full dancing in the street. Yeah.
Huh?
Just go full dancing in the street.
Full dancing in the street with the two of them, like that would have been amazing, and probably like the best function band tune of all time at this, as well.
If we just combine the sheer potential. The ceiling of the potential of that collaboration.
Yeah, exactly. Like so high you can't even see it.
Yeah,
like
using some fantasy football terminology there.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, they're my three fantasy collaborations. If I had the chance to make that happen somehow, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, so many ideas. I mean, the good thing is the artists don't have to have collaborated together in real life, but we have the power as musicians to emulate them and see what mash those styles together and see what happens.
That's very true.
Obviously,
something
that they make in that collaboration might be completely wild and not just a mishmash of the two styles that they've used before. But yeah, we can
Definitely. I guess a good question to ask them would be, what do you guys think? What are your fantasy collaborations? And who would you have loved to have seen in the past sort of come together and collaborate? Definitely let us know in the comments. And also, is there anyone making music still today that you'd love to see collaborate with someone else? We'd be really, really interested to know. It'd be really cool to find out.
All comments welcome.
Exactly. And who knows, if enough of us, suggest it might happen. So definitely get the ideas
out. What was that website you wanted to create? Minor Social Change? That's
minersocialchange.com.
Yes.
Bring back cheesy garlic bread.
Cheesy garlic bread.
For one.
Didn't they bring back some sort of garlic bread?
They brought back garlic bread, but they haven't brought cheesy garlic bread. It has to be cheesy garlic bread now as well, because I've actually
both options,
I've gone vegan since I started minersocialchange.com. But yeah, some of these collaborations.
Cheesy garlic bread, and Wishing the National and Coldplay.
Yeah, similar, clearly comparable. Thank you so much for tuning in to Sonic Bytes. If you enjoyed what you heard, drop us a like or follow us on Spotify, Anchor FM, or wherever you get your podcasts, or leave us a comment on YouTube at Leo Kelly G Music, Twitter at Sonic Bytes Pod, or Instagram at Sonic Bytes. More episodes coming very soon. Stay tuned.